am going to dehydrate some spinach. I have washed it, and I've got it through my salad spinner here to try and take out all the excess water. Okay, and I had cut up my ginger here and put it on the dehydrator because, well, it wasn't being used, so rather than letting it go to waste, I thought I would dry it out, and then I'll turn it into a powder. So that's dry now, so I cleaned it, sliced it. Oh, it still smells awesome. And it dried out fairly quickly because I did slice it thin. Now, I may grind this into a powder or leave it as is. I haven't made a decision on this yet, so I'll just put it in a mason jar for the time being, and I will deal with this later. So, okay, meanwhile, I bought a beautiful package of spinach, and it appears as though we're not using it in any big hurry, and I'm not going to let this go to waste. There is just no way. So, onto the dehydrator it goes, and this will definitely be dried and turned into a powder. Now, I could also freeze it, but I've chosen to do this instead today. And it was a fairly large bag, so yes, you don't want this to go to waste. And every one of them is perfect. I haven't seen one bad leaf in this batch yet. Okay, I certainly hope I don't have to pack it tighter than this, but I may. I've got 2 trays left. Now this will dry down to just about nothing anyway, so that's not really the issue here. Oh my goodness. I may have to use a second batch. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try and get this all on the one go. And I think we're pretty much successful here. Okay, I'm going to put these on the dehydrator, and they should be done by tomorrow, no problem. Okay, I had placed all that spinach on the dehydrator at 105, a very low temperature, because spinach is so very fine. And as you can see, those mounds of spinach that I put on these trays have dehydrated down to virtually nothing, which is what I expected. So I'm going to take these all off the tray and then at least crunch them up and perhaps turn them into a powder. I'll just one step at a time here. Okay. And if nothing else, that great big huge bag of fresh spinach has been whittled down to a tiny bowl, and it's going to get even smaller than that. Okay. First grinding is pretty easy. Now I can take a mortar and pestle, and that one's just slightly damp, so I'll pull that out. Okay, I think I will turn this into a powder. So what I'm going to do is get my... Okay, so I've got this little coffee grinder that I do not use to grind coffee. I use it for herbs. So we will fill the little cup here and see if we can turn this into a powder. I know we can. Okay. I don't know if I've shown you this before, but here it is, some that I've made from my garden a while back. And we'll just add to that. Okay. Now, depending on how fine you want this, you just keep grinding. And before I lift the lid, hopefully bring some of the dust down. You can see you got a very fine powder here. Now you can do this with a number of things, but I find it particularly useful for spinach, because now you can use this spinach powder in a number of foods, and perhaps namely I would put it in a pasta that I'm homemade pasta that I'm making. So make spinach pasta. That didn't take much effort at all. Okay. Okay, and the last time I found that I used spinach powder in pasta making, I found that required a little bit more water. Understandably so, because what you're doing now is you're taking a dehydrated item and rehydrating it. So it would require a little bit more water. So there we go, my little dehydrated spinach powder has been topped up anyway, and this still, depending on how often I use it and what I use it for, and it will last a while. Sorry, that is not fresh spinach, but it can certainly be used in some ways that you wouldn't traditionally use fresh spinach, so it's quite useful in this format, and it doesn't go bad. Okay, and while I'm at it, I thought I would take out this little bit of ginger that I dried, and turn this into a powder as well. Now, it's only a tiny bit, but if I like that, I will go out and buy a large quantity of this and do the same thing. I wasn't able to grow my own, so it would, at this point, it would have to be a purchase. Interesting. This is taking a bit more effort than the spinach, but then again, it is thicker. Awesome smell. Ooh, yes, I can really smell that. I'm going to grind it a bit more. Now, I think ginger would be awesome just in some hot water for a drink. Okay. Or perhaps in a tea. Now, that didn't make all that terribly much, but then again, I just dried what I had on hand so as not to waste what I did have. Okay. Very pungent, very strong when it's this fresh. So, okay, so beginning to make some powders. It's not that hard. Okay, perhaps you are already aware, but the benefits of ginger, or the uses. Okay, fresh ginger root, peeled and sliced or grated, can be added to stews, sauces, and oriental dishes. Use ground root in gingerbread, cakes, biscuits, mulled wine, and liqueurs. Preserve young green roots in syrup. And the root can be infused as a tea to cleanse the body system, ease a cold, and to bring warmth on cold days. Root chewed to soothe a sore throat. Recent research confirms that an infusion is excellent to settle the stomach and to prevent nausea while traveling. So those are some of the benefits of ginger. This is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. Hope you enjoyed my little making of powders, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.